mezza sera va a cercare la primavera.
Sara's 3-year-old daughter and a friend are learning to sing a song to celebrate Carnevale, an event which both the prison staff and the detained mothers are busy preparing for.
Che saresti proprio tu.
Sara's one of 11 women currently being held at ICAM, Europe's first home prison for mothers with small children. She's been here for the last 7 months. Before that, she was at San Vittore prison in the centre of Milan.
Anch'io mi sento più serena per mia figlia perché
I feel much better here with my daughter because you feel really guilty keeping a child in prison. I felt so guilty keeping her in prison. Also, it was much more tiring because I had to be more attentive and play with her all day just to pass the time away.
At San Vittore, Sara and her daughter were confined to one room in the central part of the prison. Interpreter Pietro Michelotti describes her living conditions there.
The mothers with the children stayed in an area completely closed with door with bars, and they stayed there all day long. They didn't do anything at all during the day. Just had the chance to go outside this place through the doors only to smoke.
Next to the mothers' quarters are those of the drug addicts. Through the day and night, Sara and her daughter could hear their suffering as they were coming off drugs. Sara asked a social worker to take her daughter out of prison as often as possible. But this in itself proved a harrowing experience, says prison education officer Marina De Berti.
They take 20 minutes to go outside and then 20 minutes to come back. And this way out and in was terrible for a child to leave. Gate opening and closing, and the noise of the keys.
Civil protection officer for the Provincia di Milano, Francesca Corso, was one of the first to realise the deeply negative effect this regime was having on children.
I think the children can stay in normal prison with their mothers because the first words they say is not mommy, but it's open the door. And also they can hear the sufferings and the sorrows of other prisoners.
Francesca Corso made it her goal to come up with an alternative. She persuaded the authorities to set up a communal house with a small garden, which would be run by the inmates. The idea was to get away from the passive institutional environment of prison and create a more dynamic atmosphere where mothers could learn new social and practical skills. She was surprised to encounter resistance from the prisoners themselves.
Ma guardi, c'è il problema della gestione dell'autonomia.
Mothers who come here, at first they don't think this is the best way to serve the punishment, because mothers in normal prison are less independent than here at ICAM. I mean, they don't have to cook, they don't have to clean, and apart from their cell. And when they come here, at first they know they have to do much more work. But as soon as they come here and the time goes by, they see how the children are well in here. They go to nursery school. They feel free to stay with them wherever they want in a very nice place. So as soon as they come here, they realize they could never go back to normal prisons.
questa è una casa, non è un carcere.
Everything's different. It's a far more serene atmosphere. The staff here are not in uniform. You don't hear the sound of keys. It's more like a community than a prison.
The most important things to say here is that all the staff treats the mothers with the more profound care. So they learn to care about themselves, to care about their children, but also to care about the other people living here with them. And each new person who comes here, all the others teach her the rules of the house, which are normal rules about living in a community.
Ho imparato a cucinare qui.
I didn't know how to cook before I came here, but since I've been here, I've learned how to cook. I've learnt to be less impulsive. I reflect more on things. Even if I'm having an argument with someone, I think before I jump in and say anything.
Each day after the mothers have got their children ready for kindergarten, they clean the house and prepare the day's meals. Then in the afternoon they can attend classes in the activities room and learn new skills, which it's hoped will help them get work once they leave prison. Today they're having a lesson in dressmaking.
Non ho mai fatto niente in vita
She said it's the first time in my life I do prepare for my children such a dress, and I think it is wonderful.
Oh, look at this. What a lovely playroom. Next to the activities room is a large children's playroom. Bright orange material billows out from the ceiling, making it feel like a cosy tent. Toys spill out of drawers. Here, mums are taught child massage.
They can decide to come here when they want all day long, playing and relaxing, you know.
And in there you have a washing room.
And also here they can smoke.
Smoking in the laundry room. Past the dining room where some mothers are preparing an evening meal, there's a sick room.
There's a doctor every day, 3 hours a day, and there's a nurse every day, 3 hours a day, and there's a doctor every night, all the night.
Wouldn't every mother love to have a doctor in the house?
Yes.
How old is that baby? Just 1 month?
Yes.
Was it born in here?
No. She is from Senegal, and she do not speak any language, no French, no English. She's good. She's staying well here. She find a moment of quiet, you know.
All the mothers here are immigrants serving sentences for either theft or drug abuse. Before coming to prison, the majority had been living on the streets, unable to support themselves without a work permit. The staff at ECAM are trying to ensure this doesn't happen again once they leave.
We have to provide not just for the period they stay in here, but also to help them to have a better condition when they go outside. And for this reason, we had created a sort of network with social services and so on, here in Lombardy mainly, to help them to improve their social condition and quality of life.
This is the second year ECAM has been open, and already 87 children have passed through its doors. At present, the house only caters for a fifth of the total number of mothers with children detained in Italian jails, but it's hoped more will be set up. The European Union has held it up as a prototype for the rest of Europe. Critics could argue the scheme doesn't offer a harsh enough punishment to prevent reoffending, but Sara disagrees. It's not just the conditions of imprisonment, she says, that put you off crime.
It's the suffering and the sorrow more than anything. It's not just the place. If it's a harder place, you suffer more. Here, you suffer less. But it's the lack of freedom that makes you reflect and think about what you've done and makes you want to keep away from prison.